Three things I really like about this training session by the 2023 Nogi Absolute World Champion, Roberto Jimenez. Number one, anytime you're dealing with a sporting skill in which you have limited time to produce force, it's not necessarily the strongest athlete who's going to perform the best, but the athlete who's able to produce the most force in the time that they have. In my opinion, this is the case for the vast majority of movements that occur on the feet in jiu-jitsu. Footwork, shooting, foot sweeps, singles and doubles, and judo-style reaping throws are all examples where power beats strength. And you can probably also make a case for explosive bridging and kipping escapes. The banded deadlift exercises you see him performing are a great way to train this. By adding bands to the mix, as he works through the range of motion, the tension from the band gets stronger and stronger, which means that he needs to keep producing more and more force to keep the bar moving at the same speed. Another advantage of these types of exercises is they entail a much shorter learning curve than other more complex exercises like cleans and snatches. Number two is plyometrics. They also train this quality, but at higher speeds, which in my opinion is going to transfer more to situations where we're on the feet and not yet in contact with an opponent. An added benefit of plyometrics is that they teach us to harness the elastic potential of our tendons. When speed is of the essence, so for example, a level change followed by a blast double, rather than just wait for our feet to touch the floor and then start contracting our muscles to get off the floor again, we can actually start contracting them before we hit the floor, placing our tendons under tension like a spring, so that when we hit the floor, the force of the impact stretches them out and then causes them to pop back, driving us off the floor sooner. That's one benefit he's going to take away from these reactive hops to the box. A third and final thing I like is that one of the criteria for specificity is the direction and the plane of movement in which we are producing force. Put another way, if you only train in straight lines moving up and down, you're only going to be optimally prepared for those conditions. And that's no problem if, say, you're a sprinter or a jumper. But obviously, we're dealing with grappling, and that means the unpredictable nature of the sport and the fact that our opponent gets a vote on what happens too means that we're going to have to be prepared to produce force in all different directions, planes, and ranges. And you can see him do just that with this mix of broad jumps, which are horizontal, the reactive hops, which we already talked about, which are vertical, and the crossover lateral bounds, which are frontal plane in nature. And this almost entirely matches up with what I was talking about in a recent video on the subject of plyometrics. Overall, very nice session and well executed. Good job.